Thunder all through the night. Promise to see Yahshua in the morning light. Take my hand, it'll be alright. Come on, save your soul tonight. Thunder all through the night. Promise to see Yahshua in the morning light. Take my hand, it'll be alright. Come on, save your soul tonight.
But he will not win, no he will lose. Christ will drop him, then he'll reboot. The heavens and the earth, everything's new. The city's walls and gold streets will be see-through. A tree of healing for the nations, we will eat the fruit. No sun, no stars in the green room. Just the glory of God in his people. No pain, no sorrow, no evil. No death, no tomorrow, no greed, dude. No shame, no boredom, no seas blue. Dear Lord, I don't know when I'ma see you, but I can't wait, and I pray that it'll be soon. You hear that like the flash, you hear that thunder roll. Can't wait to Christ back. This song should come to those who broke the race path, who had a love of those. This ain't to Christ, relax. Yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows. This ain't to Christ, relax. Yeah, when that trumpet blows.
Notice Revelation 1 and verse 10. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, John wrote, and heard behind me a great voice as a trumpet. The theme of the book of Revelation is the day of the Lord. And yet, do you know that most people do not understand what the day of the Lord is? And this world has been just grotesquely deceived about the book of Revelation. But you are going to see these events actually fulfilled in your life. You're going to see it. So we have to understand, what is the day of the Lord? What does it all mean? And why don't we hear more discussed on this subject by Christian leaders and ministers? Why do we just have almost silence in that area? It is, after all, right there in the book of Revelation, and is talked about in the New Testament and in the Old Testament. Why don't we hear more about it?
For yourselves know perfectly well that watch this now, day of the Lord so comes as a thief in the night, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as a travail of a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, that day, that's the day of the Lord, would overtake you as a thief. 2 Peter 3 and 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Now let's look at some verses that deal with the day of the Lord. Isaiah 2 and 12, the proud and lofty will be brought low. Isaiah 13:6, the day shall come as destruction from God. Jeremiah 46 and 10, he shall avenge himself on his enemies. Joel 2:31, the sun shall be darkness and the moon be turned to blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord. Amos 5:18, it is a day of darkness and not of light. The day of the Lord appears to be from the Old Testament prophets when he judges the earth. So when John says this, I'm going to go back to this, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. Could it be, and I think it is, that John was saying, I was in the Spirit, that Greek means in the mind of God, in the thinking of God, I could see God's thought. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. Could be, I was in the Spirit during that day that the prophets predicted when the great distress and trouble was going to break out on the earth. Because from chapter 6 of Revelation to chapter 19, you see all these judgments being released on the earth, and that is a part of the day of God's wrath, the day of God's vengeance, or the day of the Lord.
You hear that flash, you hear that thunder roll. Can't wait to crash back. This song should come to those who walk the righteous path, who had a love one those. This ain't to crash, relax. Yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows, when that trumpet blows, yeah, when that trumpet blows. This ain't to crash, relax. Yeah, when that trumpet blows.
The white horse carrying a rider who conquers the earth, greedily running roughshod over all who stand in his way, in his lust for power. He is a deceiver. He is a dictator. He is a living devil. He is the Antichrist.
What do you think would happen if the evildoers hooked the black Hebrew Israelites into the plot too? They are allowing you guys to terrorize, pun intended, the citizens of the city and gloat about it on social media for a reason, people.
Yahshua.
In the morning.